Let's talk about Tuesday, Las Gatos House of the Week. Today's Las Gatos House of the Week is 77 Broadway. This is not my listing. It's just listed at $3.8 million. Beautiful house, built in 1994, 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,800 square foot house on a 6,000 square foot lot. And it looks old and dated, but not inside. We're going to go into it. And this is the reason why I like it, because it's super close to downtown. See? That's all downtown right there. You can just stumble there, stumble back, and have a good night. 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Let's take a look at this guy. It looks like it's a corner lot, and I don't know if it has. So you actually walk to it right from this street right here. This is downtown, and there you go. Beautiful house, really well done, completely beautiful in every aspect of it. Everything you can want in the house right here, and you're walking distance to downtown. And my feelings on Main Street, USA, right? I love having an option to just walk down to the coffee shop, read the newspaper, be a little social, and that's what this house gives you. There's your backyard, hardscaped, beautiful house. And the pictures are done really nice, professional, and I love this right here. You actually get floor plans, and understand that these aren't going to be exact measurements. These are done by computers. They're not always exact. And there's your 2-car garage. So just take that with a grain of salt. But that's your Tuesday Las Gatos House of the Week. Silver Tsunami, what does that mean? Anything that has to do with your parents, elder care, where they're going to move. Are they going to stay in place until they pass on, or do they need help? How are you going to get help? And the main reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a huge shortage of people that can help these people. There's a gap in employment for caregivers for the elderly. And while we might be seeing an hour for fast food, you're going to see cost of management here in California, especially, that's going to go up as well. It's just hard to justify having certificates and professionalism and everything when you have caregivers. Just expect that the cost of that's going to go up, right? 10,000 Americans turn 65 every day. And as we age, we are more dependent on our society, on our family and our friends to help be available for them. Whether you're suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, or you just can't get around anymore, you're going to need people to help you out. My mom was here for a couple days over Easter, and my dad stayed at home, and we brought in a caregiver to just be with him for 5 hours a day in case something happened with him, right? He's older, he's walking around on a cane, he's got gout and arthritis and everything you can imagine. So it's just one of those things. As you slow down, as you get older, you will be more dependent on people to help you out in time. So if you're looking at creating a business or looking for employment, this is a great opportunity for you. It translates really well into housing, because the housing that we have for our aging citizens, it's impacted, to use a term from university. It's very hard to find placement for people with any kind of ailments, whether it's dementia or what have you. I'm helping somebody sell their house for a parent who has dementia, and they're putting her into a home, and it's just part of life, right? This is the next huge wave of opportunity for people to create businesses, places for people to stay, whether it's long-term, a daycare, or meet at home type of care providers. So maybe something for you to think about. And I got this off of caregivercalifornia.org. It's a great place for you to go to if you have issues with your parents, or if you're older and you're looking for help, go here. There's also noavet.org. They have aging population place or links to go get help as well. Why pricing is important. This is on Harwell. I sold a house right here, actually 2 houses a couple years back here in this area right here. This house right here is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, almost 2,000 square foot house, and it's 39 years old, on market 105 days. They only dropped it $20,000, right? Everything about this house is great, except for when you consider the fact that this house was bought just in 2022. So for whatever reason, they bought it and they're moving. I can tell you that the photos should have been done a little bit differently. I wouldn't have spent so many first pictures on the backyard that is just a plain old backyard. And by the way, this is Monterey Highway. So your house backs into Monterey Highway. But when you're setting up house or pictures, you want to do the first couple pictures of the front and then go right into the house and walk them through the house as you would go, right? Start to the left or to the right. This one, the kitchen's on the left, so you probably want to start to the left, go into the living room, the kitchen, and then the sleeping quarters, right? Not a barren backyard. So there you go. But I can also show you really quickly, if you look at comparables, which is important. This is the subject property right here. It's 2,000 square feet. Here's another two that sold within the last year, and they were both listed far below the list price, where this guy's listed at right here, right? So this guy's trying to be a market maker. He's trying to sell the house at a premium when the house really doesn't justify a premium. The front yard has zero curb appeal, the backyard is barren, and you're backed up into Monterey Highway. So don't take those things into consideration. You're just being greedy. When you sell a house based on greed, and you limit yourself on the possibility of selling that house quickly. Here's your example, right? And I told you last week that I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start taking subject properties and show you why these houses are not selling. This one right here is overpriced by $100,000, and it's going to sit. And this guy bought this house, I want to say 2 years ago, for $1.3 million. Overall, it's a great property, but because of the proximity to, let me show you right here, you look at it, and this house backs right onto Monterey Highway. It's not a bad thing, but also something to note is Monterey Highway is also the flight path for San Jose Airport. I've sold this property right here and this property right here, and I sold it in days. Didn't get 1.4 for it because it was a couple years back, but still, when you put a house on market, you have to understand how the market is sold, right? Here in the Silicon Valley, we listed a little bit lower, especially when they're commodity homes. You can't be a market maker, right? We have other houses that are 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, and those are sold a little bit differently. Enough said. This is highs and lows. And today we're going to look at the highs and lows. The highest was 5.6, the lowest was 665,000. Sales price ratio was also 137%, and the lowest list price is 51. So let's go take a look at this real quick. This is the highest list price. It sold for over in 17 days because they put it on market and they listed it lower than what the anticipated price would be. They sold it quickly, right? And this is the lowest home sold. This is a complete shack, completely burnt out. Wow, look, I just sold a house like this. Look at that. That's crazy. So it was abandoned, left behind, mold, fire, you name it. There you go. Sold for $665,000, sold in 14 days. Crazy. This is the highest list price to sales price ratio, listed at 1.2, sold for 1.6 in 7 days, right? Okay, and look, this is not the best looking house, needs work, but you list it low, attract the market, you bring buyers, you get multiple offers, and it's sold quickly. Probably had 15, 20 different offers on it. There's linoleum peeling off, water damage, the whole 9 yards. But still, you don't have to have a house sold for the highest price if that's not what you want to do. I have different opportunities, different levels of service that I offer when I go to market, and I sit down with my sellers and I say, here's what we can do. We can sell it as is. This one was sold as is, right? Quick look at it. If this house was completely turnkey, it probably would have sold for 1.7, 1.8. But then you have to put money into it. You have time, energy, dust, delays, etc. So there you go. This one was the lowest list price to sales price ratio, which was 51%, right? Oh, my house is worth 3.5. I'm going to wait for the market to come to me. First of all, you're up in the mountains and your house, I don't know. Yeah, okay, you have 87 acres, but that doesn't justify $3.5 million, especially if it's not livable, right? We'll go look at the pictures real quick. So you can see it's probably the crest of the hill right there, and you're on a hill, so it's probably not really usable. And how are you going to get to that? There's no roads. There's back roads, I'm sure, but it doesn't really show it. So then you look at the house. Nice little house. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,100 square feet. This house isn't worth 3.5. They finally dropped it down to $2 million, and somebody took it for 1.8. So there you go. Don't be a market maker. Attract the market. It's the easiest way to sell a house. This one's sold off market. They listed it at 1.5. I don't think I'm a big fan of 0 days on market for sale coming soon, because you really don't attract the market. And this is the highest house for sale in Santa Clara County right now. It is 6 bedrooms, 6.5 bath, 8,500 square feet on a full acre, and it's 12 years old. It's Los Altos Hills, and it's a gorgeous house. Look at this. I mean, just purely opulent. This house is going to sell fast. Beautiful house. It's $525,000. It's been on market for 48 days, and it's right off of Santa Clara Street. So 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 700 square feet, 64 years old, and can't believe you get virtually staged. Yeah, we saw this one last week. They actually lowered the price, $25,000. So there you go. All right. So today we talked about Las Gatos